Muted.
A little mic issue there. We're in action. Happy Sunday, November 26th to all of you. Happy week 12. Huge day ahead of all of us. Thank you for joining us right here on NFL Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. 7 cappers rolling with us today. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Truth Teller, Mr. Vape, Razor, Sharp Picks, Red Girl, Justin McElvey, Kelly McInnes, Spenny, Penny Bombs will be on here shortly. Troy Torrance, Clint started the Die Hard MMA podcast. We got North Ender, Bo Jackson, Lucas Ryan, Luis Leyva, Philly Bullies, Joseph Alvarado, Von Polo, Kevin Ponetera, Harold Williams. A great group and a huge card ahead of us. I have made moves, and I've gotten off the week to a poor start. So at this point, including what's gone on Thursday and Friday, I'm at the low watermark of my season. 69 wins, 67 losses, 50.7%, minus 4.76 units, ROI minus 3.50%, average line minus 108. North Ender says, Pats, Jimmy, that's the big regret. That's my biggest regret. Didn't get on them at 3. Didn't want them then at 3.5. And now, of course, we've seen it at 4.5. That's my biggest regret. I'm on Pittsburgh, Cincinnati over 34.5. Very confident in that spot. And I'm going to add the Bengals at some point during this show. I'm just waiting for it to get to 2.5. I have Cleveland, Denver under 35.5. That line's gone heavy against me. Buffalo, Philly over 48. I'm a little concerned about the rain. I have Falcons money line. I have New England, New York Giants under 34. Chargers plus 3.5. And I have my first player prop for a full bet this year. I would, it's part of my same game parlay, which I don't tweet out. That's just part of our fun on our Sunday night live stream. But I liked it so much that I was like, well, I have to bet it. Like the X's and O's for me, I just have to also bet it. And that's Lamar Jackson over 43.5 rush yards today. So I want the Bengals, and I also want the Bills. If Justin Jefferson is announced in for the Monday Nighter, I probably will move on the Bears once it gets back to 3.5. Harold Williams got the Pats at minus 1.5. I mean, that's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Slatsy says head-to-head, Jimmy, on Ravens Chargers. First time I've ever seen you on a player prop. Yes, it is. Ravens Chargers, yes. But it may concern you, Slatsy, that my dad sent me $300 to move for him on the Ravens, and I didn't send it in. My dad's been square lately. Very square. Don't know if you want to be on the side. My dad, Slatsy. The side that you are on. I hope that fills you with fear, my friend. Although I love you very much. Great group here. Adrian Bird ready to get to work. There's King Ooh ready to rock. Mark, Nick. Great to see all of you guys. North End says looking at the Chargers plus 3 and the Jags money line as well. The Jags game is going to be talked about a lot. You know what's not going to be talked about a lot or at all? It's the Patriots-Giants game. Not one person has it here, which surprises me. But that's the situation we're in. We need to get started right off the hop because we have cappers with a ton of action, which I love, which I absolutely love. But we have cappers with a ton of action. In the Circus Sports Millions, we started out with losses on the Commanders and the Lions. So we need to sweep our 3 remaining bets. That's Browns plus 1.5, Falcons at a pick'em, Titans minus 3.5. I would, we know there's no such thing, Slatsy. I would bet the Titans minus 3.5, but I'm using them in Survivor. The line's moving against it. There's a lot of money. 3 Survivor pools. There are only 4 left in the Pub Sports, so I'm not going to bother betting the Titans minus 3.5, even though I kind of like them to bounce back. Although I'm nervous about the game, and I wish I took the Patriots. And when I was in my one pool on Yahoo, my one Survivor, the Pats weren't even the top 10 used in Survivor. 0.92% of people had used them. And I was like, what? Because Troy told me to move. Said that's the one. That's the pick for Survivor. And I wonder if that costs me multiple thousands of dollars. We will see. All right, let's get to work here right now. We have an incredible show. This is a hot show. Bobano, Spenny, Sean Higgs, Flash, Birdie, Ramon Scott, and picks from Dave closing it up. K-Dig says Pats win big today. I'll look to live bet them. Also, Razor Sharp Picks is doing a special horse racing show today, and I hope to jump on that at some point. I need to see the first half of the football games. I got too much invested in that, but I'd like to jump on there. All right. It is great to see all of you guys. Thank you for being here on Pub Sports Radio for NFL Pub Hub. Let's get started. We get started with last year's champion. He was spectacular last year. This year being a little more of a struggle, but there's lots of time left in the season for him to get his way back into the black here on the show, and we love him coming to us. And he's under the weather. He's fighting a good fight. The man cares very much. Fighting a good fight. Please welcome from Canada's black and yellow steel town, Hamilton, Ontario, Mr. Ian Cameron to the show. Bobano, how are you, my friend?
Doing all right. Good as can be. You're still sick, but that's the way it is. Good to be here, though, for an NFL Sunday.
It is great to have you. Let's get right to work. Make sure I've got everything up here. One more thing I need to pull up here. And let's get after it. Bobano. And, this is your flu game, Bobano. This is your flu game, man. This is your sweep the board flu game. Let's get right to work.
MJ did it, so can I.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You start at 1 p.m. Eastern. Jacksonville Jaguars 7-3, 4-0 on the road. Perfect on the road. At Houston Texans 6-4, 4-1 at home. We're at Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. The big problem, for the Jags, maybe the only problem really is Tyson Campbell is out. Their top corner is out. But I guess, you can call that a draw because Jimmy Ward is out for the Texans. So two important pieces to each team's defense are out. You have some questionables. Linebacker Jake Hansen for the Texans. Oh, no, he's out. Sorry, Jake Hansen is out. Questionables are Damian Pierce, and then they're sending Drew Scruggs. For the Jags, Zay Jones and defensive lineman Roy Roberts Harris is questionable. Let's get into line history here for this one. We're going to be using Pinnacle's line history throughout this show. Pinnacle opened this up with the Jags as a plus money position. They're now -1. So they're -1 at -112. They open +1 at -105. So we have a slight move on the side. Now, there are some books that have a bigger move on the side, but not Pinnacle. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Got totals already set up here. And then from the total side of things, we are sitting at a 47.5. All the other books are showing 48. This opened up at 46.5 and climbed up to 48.5, and it just dropped to 47.5 at Pinnacle about an hour and a half ago. When we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 65% of the tickets, 68% of the cash on the Texans. We have 79% of tickets and 80% cash on the over. Take it away, Bobano, your first spot on the board, Jags-Texans.
Excellent game. I can't wait to watch this. It's going to be fun. Since week 1, when they lost by double digits against Baltimore, and of course we know the Ravens for years with John Harbaugh, they've been great in week 1 as far as winning and covering. But since that loss for Houston, 5-0 against the spread as underdogs. So I absolutely will not bet against Houston in this price range. Not to mention they've been absolutely owned by Jacksonville. For some reason, Peterson and this team can't beat Houston. 9 of the last 10 meetings won by the Houston Texans. But I'm not on the side in this game. I thought I saw something in Jacksonville last week with that Tennessee beatdown that, I kind of want to see if Jacksonville can get on a run here. And they're in revenge for a bad game against Houston earlier this year. So it's a tough side. But what isn't tough for me is the total. I do like points in this game. We're going to go over the number here. You mentioned the injuries on defense, both sides, especially in the secondary. I think Trevor Lawrence and C.J. Stroud. I like both quarterbacks. Not going to be an official play. I like both quarterbacks, though, over their passing yards in this game. I really think both guys are going to be able to sling the rock against these opposing pass defenses in this game with a good amount of success. And I just see points. I mean, Houston, don't be fooled by the under last week against Arizona. And I lost with the under in that game last week. But Houston was moving the ball up and down, up and down, up and down. And just fourth down stops, turnovers really hurt them in terms of putting up more points. And you could say the same about Arizona. I think both defenses kind of vulnerable. Like you mentioned, there's some injuries in the secondary. 2 very good quarterbacks throwing the football here. So, and by the way, both offensive lines have been better lately as well. That's important. So over 47.5 here for me, -110 at ProLine Plus.
Over 47.5, -110 locked in for you. Bobano is on the board. And I initially wanted that as well. The only thing that kept me off was I got some late fear. Well, it was not late. It was during the week, Tuesday, was the fears of a playoff type football game and maybe it being a little bit more intense defensively. But with Tyson Campbell and Jimmy Ward out. I completely get the sentiment. Noli says Jacksonville second halves have been money. There's fat win in the house. Let's move on to the next spot on the board for Bobana. 1 p.m. Eastern. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 4-6, 2-3 on the road to Indianapolis Colts. 5-5, 1-4 at home at Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, it looked really bad for the Buccaneers during the week, but things got a little better. Now, Jamel Dean, Levante David are out. We knew that, but it looks like Carlton Davis, we're quite confident will play. And Devin White, we've become a little confident. So those are both hugely helpful pieces for the Buccaneers. For the Colts, Juju Brents and Drew Ogletree, and then center Ryan Kelly concussed. They were hoping to get Ryan Kelly back. He is not back. There's TJ in the house. Great to see you. Let's move on to the line history here and get this rolling. We've got a great group there. Dan Kelly also joining us now. Fat Win joining us from Australia with his vat of lube. Let's talk about the line history here. This total is at 44.5 at -106. This opened up all the way down to 42.5. This went up 3 points. 3-point move for the total, and it's now dropped a point. And then from the spread side of things here, God, I thought I fix this. Sorry, let's get over to the point spread here. From a spread side of things, we have a minus. We're on our way to threes with the Colts. We have a -2.5. Now, maybe we would have already got there because it's actually come back 4 cents to -116. So maybe we would have already got to threes, but we see threes at, I guess, none of the respected established books are using our threes. So, okay. So only just the dodgy, not talked about books are offering threes in this one. And from a cash flow standpoint, 89% of the tickets and 95% of the cash is on that over. Wow. And then it's a pretty much 50-50 spot. 55% of the tickets, 54% of cash on the Bucks. Bobano, take it away. Your game too.
Yeah, I'm on Indy here as well. I like the Colts at home here. To me, this is Tampa going in the wrong direction finally. I'm going to go -145 with Colts money line in this game. Tampa's going in the wrong direction. I mean, and kind of predictably, we knew that little hot start was mostly schedule related. Start playing good teams, then they started to struggle. No question about that. Plus, they started losing to pretty mediocre teams too, like Atlanta, for instance. So, and the Colts have won 2 in a row. And like I said, I don't get scared of having to back the Colts with Gardner Minshew. He's capable. You mentioned the severe depletion on defense right now for Tampa Bay due to injuries. And it looks like it might be a little bit better for them than initially thought. It might have been worse initially, but still, it's bad against Indy in the Dome, where they've had no problem putting up points this year. And I also like over the total. Now, I don't like that the numbers moved this much, but because this opened as low as 41.5, and I didn't even get the best number. I got 43 this week. It's up to 44.5. I'm still going to make it official at 44.5 -106 at Pinnacle with the over here. Indy games just go over when they play at home. I mean, it's unbelievable. Look at the points we've seen. Their defense is still a little suspect, and I think Baker can probably make some plays to Mike Evans down the field against this secondary. So I think Tampa can score. Certainly think Indy will against the banged-up defense. 65, 77, 52, and 52 points in 3 of the last 4 home games for Indianapolis. So Indy and over in this one for me.
Indy and over. Colts -145 and the over 44.5 at -106. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board. Carolina Panthers at Tennessee Titans. My survivor. We all have different survivors in the Pub Sports Radio. 4 of us left. Nissan Stadium, Nashville, Tennessee. 52 Fahrenheit. Chance of showers. That chance decreases as the game goes on. Injuries for the Panthers, a ton of them, as has been the case all season long. Now I'd like to say they've handled it pretty well, but they are 1-9 and 0-5 on the road. Hayden Hurst is concussed out. Jeremy Chin quad safety out. Linebacker Yetur Gross-Matos hamstring out. Cornerback CJ Henderson concussion and cornerback JC Horn hamstring are both doubtful. I don't expect either of them in. I hope that they're both out. Then for the Titans, Treylon Burks out with the concussion, and offensive tackle Chris Hubbard out with a concussion as well. Get to the line history here for this one. We'll start with the spread. This opened up with Tennessee -4 and very quickly moved to 3.5, and that's where it's been. That 3.5 is juiced towards the Carolina Panthers. From a total scenario, we're dealing with a very low one. We have this opening up at 37 and still dropping a point down to 36. From a cash flow perspective here, We have 67% of the tickets and 51% of the cash on the Titans. It does feel like Carolina is a sharp look by the Cappers. 72% of the tickets, 73% cash on the under. Take it away for us here at Bobano, Panthers, Titans.
Sharp look, my ass. Sharp as a butter knife, as far as I'm concerned. I want no part of Carolina. I like Tennessee here. We'll lay the 3. I don't mind it one bit. Now, Tennessee, look, unless the thought process is Tennessee is really sketchy right now, and there is some truth to that. We are talking Will Levis, a rookie quarterback that's in action. We're talking about an offense that when you bottle up Derrick Henry, there's not much there right now, quite honestly. So there are issues with Tennessee, but you're going to give me, Carol, a chance to bet against this ridiculously bad, horrific Carolina team at close to a pick 'em, at this low of a number here. I'm going to take advantage of that for sure. I mean, they're a woeful team. I mean, that was supposed to be, if there was one spot that they're supposed to step up, rise up, show a little something. Frank Reich takes over the play calling, coming off a bye week, and they just absolutely brutal in that game against Dallas. Now, Dallas, pretty good team, but just not what I want to see at all. I think the price is cheap here. And Tennessee, 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread at home this year in their 3 true home games. They've actually had 4 games designated as home games, but that one game that they lost was Baltimore, but that was in London. When they played in Nashville, 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread. So Tennessee -3. This is a bad Carolina team.
And what's the best juice you can get for the -3?
-124 at Pinnacle.
-124. You are locked in. Next up, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati Bengals. I still haven't bet this. I'm still waiting to see what kind of number I can get. And I can understand legitimate arguments on both sides, but I want the Bengals, and I'm waiting patiently. Pittsburgh Steelers 6-4, 2-2 on the road. Bengals 5-5, 3-2 at home at Paycor Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. Light rain that's supposed to diminish as soon as the game starts. Fitzpatrick not in the lineup. We all heard about the skirmish with Deontay Johnson in the locker room. That doesn't necessarily have to hurt the team. Defensive tackle Montravius Adams out with an ankle injury. For the Bengals, we know Burrow long gone, and no T. Higgins and no Cam Taylor-Britt. Those are important losses there. Offensive tackle Deontay Smith is doubtful with a knee injury, and Jermaine Pratt's been sick, but we expect him to go. From a line history standpoint here, we have on the total, it's at 37 now at Penny. I got in on this over at 34.5. So I've beaten this thing by 2.5 points. We know that doesn't mean that you cash, but it's a good feeling. From a side perspective here, we have the 2.5s now across the board, which I expected. I was wondering if it could possibly become juiced or a 3, but it's a slightly juiced to the Steelers at -106. And then from a cash flow perspective, 68% of tickets, 68% cash on the under, and yet this keeps climbing. And from a spread perspective, 59% of tickets, 59% cash on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bobano, take it away.
So because I watch a lot of college football too, I've watched a lot of Jake Browning going back to his days at Washington. When I watched him at Washington, I saw him beat up, look pretty decent against bad teams, bad defenses. But every time he stepped up against good defenses, he was pathetic. I thought he was bad. And that's why he wasn't a high draft pick. And I said, at no point does he look like an NFL starting quarterback of quality that's going to do anything in that league. That's what I said when he played at Washington. So I've seen him play a little bit of here and there in the NFL with Cincy. And I still think he's got no business being a number 1 NFL quarterback and will not do anything against a team of caliber, a defense of caliber, a pass rush of caliber. And that's exactly what I think here in this game. So I'm on Pittsburgh here in this one money line. And I love how it sets up situationally for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, by the way, -135 with that money line price. Yeah, they had a little ruckus, bad game. And they were what I like about it is, they had a little fracas with some of the players, a little discontent, but I like that they were angry. I like that they were pissed off about the way that game went against Cleveland last week, offensively especially. I like that they made the change. It was overdue. Now we're going to have Eddie Faulkner, Mike Sullivan, dual offensive coordinators. One's going to diagram the game plan. One's going to call the plays. I think it's a breath of fresh air. I hear things that they're going to try to get Pickens going more moving forward. And again, I think this is good for Pittsburgh. And then again, like I said, with Jake Browning, I saw no evidence of him being any good last week when he stepped in for Burrow. Now, admittedly, He wasn't expecting to play in this game, but I've never been sold on him at the NFL level, Jake Browning, and I'm still not sold. And he's got to deal with TJ Watt and company today. A great pass rush and a very good defense, and a defense that's why Pittsburgh's got the record they have this year, that defense. So I don't expect him to do a whole lot in this game. I do think Pittsburgh moves the ball. That being said, I could see Pittsburgh scoring on defense. Cincinnati defensively, you could still see them maybe flip the field with a play. So I know you like the over. I'm also on that, crazy as it is to say. I do like that. It's a low enough number. And to me, this is a mechanical bet that I had coming into the week. I said, I'm betting the over in Pittsburgh's game after this OC change, because I think now you're going to see a change in philosophy, maybe try to stretch the field just a little bit, maybe attack vertically just a little bit more. So for me, Pittsburgh, money line minus 135, and we'll also get in with the over, which is currently over 35.5 minus 125. You can find that at ProLine Plus right now.
You got it. And one of the things that we differ on, I think that the Steelers pass rush has superstar names on it and very pedestrian statistics over the last few weeks. Now that can change. We know that that's capable of changing, but I've seen a very average, mediocre pass rush.
Yeah, I thought a lot of their splash plays were a little bit earlier in the season. That's true. Yep.
And if this was the way I thought about this pass rush early in the year, there'd be no way I would do this. It's just that I think that it's names and not numbers at this point.
After the OC change, I want to bet on Pittsburgh this week. I want to bet the over this week. So that's what I'm doing.
No, I feel you. And the change in the offensive coordinator is why I didn't move on this earlier in the week. It made me uncomfortable all week. This does not work. We know this doesn't work, fading a team off of a coaching change. I had to build up the confidence throughout the week to do it. So I'm no way am I sitting here really confident with conviction on the other side.
Najee Harris got Matt Canada fired, by the way. Did you hear his quote after last week? We got to fix this shit. Are we going to get it fixed? Shit. That's what he said. So basically talking about it, probably his OC.
Shit. We're going back to the wire. Let's get back to Saints Falcons. We got to speed this up a little bit. Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Marshawn Lattimore out. We knew that was the case. Michael Thomas may not come back this year. Andrew Carr is in. For the Falcons, Matt Collins is out. Heineke question. Well, maybe he'll be backing up Ritter. Maybe it'll be Woodside. We don't know at this point. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. The Falcons, it depends what book you're at. I mean, this is all over the map. But you can get a 2.5 right now at my bookie. And at Pinnacle, you can get a 1. I mean, it's all over the place. From a total side of things here, we have it at 41, and it is opened up at 41.5. Oh, sorry, that's not being updated here. It's now at 42. It's at 42, so it's gone up a half point here at Pinnacle. And cash flow wise, we have 61% of tickets, 85% of cash on the Falcons. And from a total perspective, it's 57 on the under, just 43% cash on the under. I am on the Falcons in this. Take it away for us, Bobano, Saints, Falcons.
Yeah, I am too, and I don't feel very good about it. But I felt like this is a spot where, look, I'm not a big Desmond Ritter guy, but after Road de Pine, the last few weeks here with Taylor Heineke getting the start, let's see if maybe that's just seeing things from a different perspective. Things slow down for him a little bit, and he's a little more effective. And it's at home as well. Now it's a bye week for both teams coming off a bye. God. That's how much I fucking hate Dennis Allen, by the way. And because I haven't been impressed with Arthur Smith either. I think Arthur Smith's been a colossal disappointment here in Atlanta. But I just think Dennis Allen's not a coach I trust to have his team ready off a bye. And his bye week track record isn't great for as a head coach, Dennis Allen. So, to me, I look at this matchup. It's a winnable game for Atlanta. They're a slight home dog. I don't trust the Saints or Derek Carr, who we don't know if he's totally 100% in this offense on the road. So, yeah, I'm with you here with Atlanta +2.
Falcons plus, there's a 2.5 at my book.
Oh, yeah, +2. Oh, yeah, exactly. Let's go with that. +2.5 is good. Yep.
And I'm the same with you. I love it. And we've talked, I don't need to keep repeating it, but I love when a quarterback sits on the sidelines for a couple weeks and watches. Shut up and watch. Yep. And then when they come back, it just feels like they have a better sense of what the hell's going on. All right. Jared TG says another game of two shit teams. Man, It's an opportunity to gamble. That's what I see. Let's go. Cleveland Browns, Denver Broncos, Empower Field, Mile High, Denver, Colorado, 38 Fahrenheit, sunny, 4 miles per hour. The Browns have Denzel Ward out. Now, they're fortunate to have Mike Ford backing up. It's not like they're pulling some guy off the practice roster, but obviously Denzel Ward's very good. Marquise Goodwin is out as well. They have Anthony Walker, linebacker, questionable. Same with safety Juan Thornhill. And the Broncos are a pretty healthy group right now. Let's get into the line history here for this one. There's been a big move towards the Denver Broncos, a huge move. They are now favorites. And I take that back. Why did I see the wrong opening line? I guess that was before the game started. It's the opposite. They're being big move to the Browns. My bad. Plus 2.5 down to +1. I was looking at the look ahead line for that big move. So a big 1.5 move towards the Cleveland Browns. Now just 1 point dogs. From a total standpoint here, we have it at 37 at Pinnacle. It's really at 37.5. Now, this opened up very low at 35.5, and I screwed up. This is one of my mistakes. I thought that this was a under for a reason, and I bet it, and now it's gone up quite a bit, and I'm very uncomfortable with it. And then cash flow-wise for this one, 59% of tick. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong spot here. Jeez, I got Browns, Broncos. My bad. This is 4:05 start. We have 64% of the tickets on Cleveland, 56% of the cash, and then 88% of the tickets and 91% of the cash on the under, and it keeps climbing. I think this is one of those games like that. I'm just very, very nervous about my under. I think it's in trouble. Take it away, Bobano, Browns, Broncos.
Yeah, this is an interesting game. To me, we're getting value against Denver here because of last week's comeback, which, to be honest with you, if Madison doesn't fumble for Minnesota, that game's not even in question for Denver to come back and win. Minnesota would have put it away, quite honestly, in that game when they were up 17-9 at the time, gave Denver that life to come back. I thought it was more Minnesota found a way to just give that game away and lose it rather than Denver won it last week. I still wasn't impressed with the offense. They weren't great. Russell Wilson wasn't phenomenal. And the Cleveland defense is as real as it gets. Now, I know Denzel Ward's out. That's a big blow for them on that side of the ball. But this is a really, really good Cleveland defense. It's a Cleveland defense that's won them games like it did last week, like it did against Baltimore when they shut down Lamar Jackson in the fourth quarter of that game. To me, this is just, the better team is not favored in this game. And so I know it's going to Denver is never easy. I get it. And DTR, still a work in progress, clearly at the quarterback position, no doubt. And it's going to be an ugly game. I think Cleveland pulls it out thanks to the strength of their defense. So Cleveland +2 for me, -110 at the score bet.
Sorry, can you hit me with that one? I was just explaining to DG about what the total movement has been at Pinnacle. Sorry, can you hit me with that again?
Yeah, Cleveland +2, -110.
Browns +2 at -110. All right, let's move on to your final spot. We have Spenny Pennybombs, who has been dumb hot on our show right now. Spenny Pennybombs on deck, just under 10 units of profit in his last 3 shows. Buffalo Bills, Philadelphia Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 47 Fahrenheit rain throughout the game, 7 miles per hour. Cornerback Dane Jackson and Taylor Rapp are both out for the Bills. We expected Rapp to be out, even though they said there's a chance that he could be in. But Micah Hyde is good to go, and so is Cam Lewis. Micah Hyde being good to go is a big, big deal here. For the Eagles, Goddard out. That's the issue. Justin Evans also out, safety, but they're in okay shape here. And I missed the 3.5, and I don't find the 3 very appealing. This total's all over the map right now. It opened up at 48. It's back at 48, sort of, but it's at -116 to the over. So basically a 48.5 or higher. And then from a from a side of things here, we're sitting at a -3 for Philadelphia. That's at +101. It's expensive to buy the 3.5. I've looked into it a couple times and used it in the contest at Pub Sports Radio with the 3.5, but I don't know if I want to pay for it at this point. And cash wise here for this one, Buffalo, Philly, you have 60% of tickets, 72% of cash on Buffalo, 68% of tickets, 78% cash on the over. Take it away for us here, Bobana, your final spot on the board, Bills, Eagles.
Yeah, man, despite the defensive injuries, I'm going to stick with it. I just think the spot is too great in their favor. I like Buffalo here at +3, -110 at points bet. Let's lock that in. To me, just a come on, off that kind of win against Kansas City, and they've done this shit before, the Eagles. They have. They've done this shit before where they have a big-time win, and they go through the motions, and they're out of sync. The execution's not crisp. I've seen this many times with the Eagles, even during the last couple of years when they've been good. I could see that today. Now, the defense worries me big time for Buffalo because they're just banged up beyond belief. That could be a major issue. So I like the over as well. So it feels like to me, if Philly wins and covers, they're probably going to do it by putting up a lot of points against a banged-up defense. If Buffalo wins and covers, it actually still could go over the total because Josh Allen in the offense in their first game with Joe Brady taking over as the OC. I mean, look, it was the Jets. I get it. But they got back to some good things. Khalil Shakir, man, every Khalil Shakir prop you can think of, receiving yards, receptions, touchdown prop, he is undervalued right now. They're targeting him a lot more. I think there's real value in that as far as the Buffalo side goes in this one. So I like Buffalo here +3, and I like over 48 -116 at Pinnacle.
Did you, when you initially capped this, have rain, full rain? I mean, we talked about the possibility.
Chance of light rain is what I'm seeing. It's not going to be terrible, I don't think.
We have Loopy. It's going to get more as the game goes on. So there's 84% chance of rain in the fourth quarter, but it's not windy. There
you go. I like the over. And I said this on Twitter or X last night with Iowa State, Kansas State. Sick of hearing it. Really, I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. It's got to stop. Snow does not impact. Don't bet unders because of snow. Don't impact unders because of rain. Okay? Don't do it. That's not enough to bet an under, snow or rain. You got to have more to your handicap than that. Wind is the only weather factor, moderate to heavy wind. That is the only weather factor where I would say, look out, maybe bet an under. That's it.
Look, I'm with you on the over. I just wondering how it impacted your thought process.
I'm trying to help people saying this stuff. Like rain and snow doesn't impact totals, does it?
Bills +3, the over 48 for Bobano. Browns +2, Falcons +2.5. Steelers money line over 35.5, and Pitt Steelers. Titans -3 at -124. Colts money line, the over 44.5 at -106, and the over 47.5 for Jacksonville. Houston Texans. Bobano, thank you for rolling with us. I know you're under the weather. Thank you for making time for us. Have yourself a giant day, my friend. And please follow Bobano on X at Bobano. And of course, his big time college football show alongside Connor Mack every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, hitting the books. And he'll be with us for the Monday Nighter live stream. Thank you, Bobano. Any last words for the Capper Sporting Show?
No, let's have a great Sunday. And Noli's got a good point about the playing surface. If it's a really shit field, like a really, really shit field and the drainage is bad, then maybe there's a little issue with rain, heavy rain, I mean. But other than that, yeah, not a big deal to me. Have a good Sunday, everyone. Let's cash some tickets.
There he is, Bobano. We stay up north for our next guest. He was second last year in his first season on NFL Pup Hub, second out of 23. Right now, he's third out of 25 cappers, and that's with starting 3-9 -6.05 units. That's what he's done in the last three shows. He is just under 10 units of profit on the last three shows with us. Let's get him on right now and get him rolling. Please welcome a man known for his bombs on the thoroughbred action, as well as his incredible player prop acumen. Please welcome Mr. Spenny Penny Bombs. Spenny, how are you, my friend?
How we doing? How we doing today? How we doing, Jimmy? How we doing, chat? Let's get this rolling.
Let's get to work, Spenny. We start with Buccaneers Colts. I've already set up the game. I've talked about the line history and the injuries. You have both side and player props. You have two player props, and you have spread and money line, and you've locked your action in and tweeted it out. Take it away, Spenny. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, we'll start with the side here. I know Bobano's, I think he's on the other side here, but I'm on Tampa Bay. I got Tampa Bay +2.5, -110. I got Tampa Bay money line +115. Tampa Bay, I know the defense has been playing bad the last couple of games, but they're still 4-1 ATS their last five. They're 5-0 ATS their last five on the road. Indy's actually 1-9 their last 10 straight up at home, and 1-7 their last 8 against the NFC. It's just one of those games where I think that Tampa Bay's offense is going to be able to, make the strides that they can to get it down the field against this offense. I think they'll be able to punch the ball in enough times to be able to get a lead on Indy here. And I think Minshew is going to make some mistakes in this game. So I think that Tampa Bay is going to take this game. I like it a lot. So give me the Tampa Bay plus 2.5 and Tampa Bay money line. So we'll start with that. And then I got 2 player props in this game. I like Cade Otton over 25.5 receiving yards at minus 120, with his 40 plus receiving yards at plus 182. He's had at least 4 receptions in 6 of the last games since the week 5 bye. And the Colts D is letting up the 7th most fantasy points to tight ends this year. So Baker's looking for him. 25.5. I like it. I think he can get over 40 today. Give me that with Cade Otton. And then another one we like, Josh Downs, second in the team in receptions for the Colts here. The Bucs secondary is letting up the most receiving yards to wide receivers right now. So Josh Downs over 46.5 receiving yards minus 111 and 60 plus receiving yards at plus 142.
Side and player props for Spenny Pennybaum's Buck spread money line, Otton and Downs with their prop line, and also alternate lines for extra cash. He does this with every one of his props. I think it's very important for everybody to see how Spenny is succeeding in the player prop market, because I find it rare to watch a capper continually succeed in the player prop market. Again, 2nd last year and 3rd this year. And he also goes for the big scores when he cashes. So when he's 500, he's up. Next up for him, Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans. We heard Bobano talk about this spot. We talked about the side, the injuries, the line history. Take it away on your player prop here for Jags Texans.
Yeah, and actually you can add, I forgot to add it too, but you can add the Jags on here as well, because I like the Jags as well. So throw the Jags minus 1.5 or whatever it is right now, because I got it at minus 1.5.
Yeah,
so throw that on there.
Right now. Take it away with the player prop.
Yeah, and then I got Evan Engram over 44.5 receiving yards at minus 110 and 60 plus receiving yards at plus 174. Houston is allowing a league high 72 catches to tight ends this year, and the 4th most receiving yards to tight ends at 635 this year. So Engram had 7 catches for 67 yards in the first game. I think we're going to see a lot of Engram again in this game today. So give me Engram today. I think he has a nice big game today.
The best that I can do for you is then Jacksonville money line minus 112 at Pinnacle.
Sure.
So
yeah, whatever works. Yeah.
Minus 112. That's by far the best line over at Pinnacle. All right, we move on. Carolina Panthers, Tennessee Titans. We've discussed this spot here already, so we don't need to go into anything other than how Spenny's going to get paid. It's the player prop scenario for Spenny. He's got 2, 1 a receiver, 1 a running back. Take it away, Spenny. Panthers, Titans, your player props.
Yeah, we all think that Tennessee's going to take care of business today, and if Tennessee's taking care of business, I think that Henry's going to be carrying the rock, especially if there's going to be some rain in this game today. So, especially with Carolina D still allowing the 5th most rushing yards to running backs this year. I think it's a great spot for Henry to bounce back and just pound the rock all day long. Take a little bit of pressure off of Levis and let let Tennessee kind of control the clock here. So Henry over 68.5 rush yards at minus 110, and then we're going to take a big score here and put it all the way up to 100 at plus 250. And then I also got Jonathan Mingo at over 26.5 receiving yards, and then 40 plus at minus 110. And then I got 40 plus receiving yards at plus 178. He's quietly been the 2nd most targeted receiver on this team. Tennessee's soft secondary still allowing about 22nd, I think, in the league right now. So he's seeing the targets. He's going to start have a little bit more of a soft kind of spot here against this Tennessee secondary. They're going to be throwing the ball. I know Thielen's kind of been eating it up, but Mingo's seeing more time than Chark lately as well. So I like Mingo in this spot today.
You got it locked in, Henry and Mingo. We'll go over everything one last time when Spenny's said and done here, but we got 2 more games here for Spenny. Next one, we have another side and player prop. Cleveland Browns, Denver Broncos. We've discussed the line history and the injuries. Take it away, Spenny, side and player prop.
Yeah, I'm with Babano here. I'm on Cleveland. I got it at 2.5, but I'll take it for show purposes. Give me whatever you can find. I'll take it for whatever. I think Cleveland, like we said, it isn't favored here, and they should be favored. I think that their defense is just going to be able to get pressure on Denver today. I don't think that Denver's going to be able to run the ball like they want to be able to run the ball, and then that's going to be able to stop that passing game. I think Cleveland's going to be able to control the clock here as well. I like Jerome Ford after as well, so we'll get into that. But Cleveland is 4-1-1 ATS their last 5, and Denver's 2-5 ATS their last 7 at home. So I think there's a great spot here for Cleveland. I think they win this game. I'll take Cleveland whatever you at. And I also like Jerome Ford over 48.5 rush yards at -118 and 60+ rush yards at +132. Denver's allowing a league high 5.8 yards per carry this year. So I think Jerome Ford has a big game today.
I love it, Spenny. And then you close up your card with side and total in Rams Cardinals. We haven't talked about this spot yet. Cooper Kupp is in State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The Rams 4-6, 2-3 on the road. Cardinals 2-9, 2-3 at home. For the Cardinals, they continue to deal with injuries. Antonio Hamilton, one of their cornerbacks, is out with a groin injury. Defensive line, Kevin Strong, out with a knee injury, and Michael Wilson out with a shoulder injury. Then they have players here that are listed as questionable but expected to play. Let's get into the line history here for this one. The final spot on the board, one we have not talked about yet, Rams Cards. This total is sitting at 45. It opened up at 45.5. It's dropped a half point to 45 over at Penny. And from a side perspective here, we have this sitting. Oh, I've got the money line. Maybe the money line will be a better indication of the situation. We'll do both here. Cardinals opened up at +109. They're now +132. So there's been a big move to the Rams, -123 to -148. And from a spread perspective here, we have this. Oh, God, we get this up here again. Sorry, take 1 second. And here from a side perspective with the total spread, there are marginal threes. The +3 for the Cardinals, -117. The -3 for the Rams is now +105 if you want that. And then cash flow wise for Rams Cardinals, we have, let me get over there. Sorry, here we go. For Rams Cardinals, we have 56% of the tickets, 62% of the cash on the Rams. And then we have 43% of tickets, 59% of cash on the under. Both of those sides, I almost bet. And now I've got nothing on this game. Take it away for us, Spenny, Rams Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm actually against all of that. I had took Arizona money line by itself before earlier in the week, but I'll take it again at a better price now. I like it. Just give me Arizona money line. Arizona has, they've shown an ability to be in games since Kyler's came back. They had a really good game there against Houston last week. Made a couple of mistakes in that game. Still able to create some turnovers as well. I know Stafford's been back, but I don't trust this Rams defense right now. They're still allowing a ton of passing yards right now. Their rush defense is terrible. They're letting up over 117 rush yards per game. So I think James Conner and Kyler can have control of the ground game this game. So I like Arizona in this game. I like Arizona money line, and I also like the over in this game. The last 5 games at home for Arizona has gone over the total here, and I think it continues to be an over trend with both of these offenses going off back and forth in this game. So I got the over at 44, but I'll take it 44.5 or 45, whatever it is now. So I like the Arizona and the over.
You got it. And yeah, I was happy to see your action. Made me feel better about not moving on the ones that are, the leans that I had. We're going to give you all the lines that you tweeted out and made official. So let's review all of Spenny's lines. Arizona, LA Rams over 44. Cardinals, money line -103. Ford over 48.5. Rush yards, 60+ +132. Browns +2.5. Mingo over 26.5 and 40+. Henry over 68.5 and 100+. Ingram over 44.5 and 60+. Jags money line. That was his addition to his card that he didn't tweet out. Downs over 46.5 and 60+. Otten over 25.5 and 40+. Bucks money line, Bucks spread. Spenny, I love what you've done here on the show. I respect it enormously. You dug a hole and you climbed out of it with aplomb. Keep winning. We love it. We fucking love it, Spenny.
I was down here, Jimmy. I was down here, and now we're number 3, and I'm coming for number 1. I'm coming for you, Gru. I'm coming for you. Good to see you later, boys. Have a good one.
He's traveling, so this is your chance. There he is, Spenny Pennybombs. Please follow Spenny on Twitter. He is at Pennigy_, and let me just _8. Guessing that was his hockey number. Let me just put it in the chat because he puts out all of his action. He's so selfless, asks for nothing in return. I'm going to pop this here. please follow Spenny. He's just a class act, great guy. All right, we move forward and we leave Canada and head to the States. And I love your next capper, the star of Midday Money. He's brought so much to our channel since he's been rocking with us, and he's been rocking with Pistol Pete Loshak for a long time and in this industry for a long time. I love running with these vets, man. They know what they're doing. Please welcome Mr. Sean Higgs to the show. Sean, how are you, my friend?
Pretty good, yeah. Old guy here, folks. No player props, just straight sides. Gonna roll out here for everybody. But pretty good. 70 and 49 on the NFL season. I've had shade under 60%. So I'll take it.
You've been great here. 9-5 plus 3.2 units, 4th out of 25 cappers. So I can imagine you've been succeeding year long. Higgsy, let's get started. We start with Jacksonville Jaguars at Houston Texans Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. I will be line shopping for you throughout because we didn't tweet out anything official, but you're in business here. These lines are fine. So in fact, they've gotten a little better, a couple of them. One's gone the worst, but take it away. Jags, Texans. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I'm taking a Jags here on the money line. I know when I sent it to you, it was like 125. I heard it was down to about a 112, 115. Either way, with Jacksonville here. And as much as I love the Texans, everything you've seen out of them, this is just a sell spot here. I'm taking the Jags. It's just that simple. I don't want to say Cinderella, the ball's over, but it's time. Jaguars win. Don't overthink things. Sometimes it's easier just to scoop up the easy ones. Sometimes I say there's no low-hanging fruit to grab, but in this one, I'm taking the Jaguars.
You got it. Jags money line minus 112. We move on to another highly debated spot. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Indianapolis Colts. Take it away.
Yeah, well, I don't, and I'm a Tampa guy. I got a Tampa 10-1 ticket to win the South, and I was high on Baker. Like, he's got some talent around him, but give me the Colts here. Again, the money line play for me, it's gone up. Listen, at this point, I don't want to like a 140 or so. 2.5, fine. I'll lay with the Colts here. Whatever. I don't. It doesn't make a difference to me. Okay. I'm off a bye week. That's enough for me here. Tampa's coming off a physical game versus the Niners. Niners always rough teams up. Tampa has a defense for sure, but they're, coming back east. No, thank you. This play just sets up good for Indy at home. And Minshew, I know there's a lot of Minshew hate sometimes for the guy. The guy, he is what he is. And you know what? He's going to get a nice win today. I don't like the Tampa head coach. He's going to make some mistakes. It's like the guy out in L.A. with the Chargers. Colts here at home, whatever. Money line, minus 2.5. They're going to win by more than a field goal, so I'm not sweating it.
Colts minus 2.5, minus 108 right now at Heritage. Yes, the Ravens game will be talked about, Al, my friend. Kong's Clip says, I'm with you, bro. Colts all day. Next spot for Mr. Higgs is Cleveland Browns, Denver Broncos, Empire Field at Mile High, 38 Fahrenheit, sunny 4 miles per hour. We've discussed the spot. We just need to hear how you are getting paid, Sean. Take it away.
Yeah, again, I got Denver at +3 in this, so I think I was pretty much ahead of where this line was going to go. Granted, I don't like the fact that we got Denver off of like Sunday, Monday night games where people see them and kind of buy into them. But Cleveland, come on, you're off Cincy and Pitt, 2 tough division games. Now you're going on a road to a tough place to play. I'm taking Denver at home. I'm believing. The Denver defense has been more than solid. I think everybody's just stuck on the 70 points they allowed. I say this all the time about Denver. They've turned things around the last couple of weeks. I'm riding them at home here, basically in a pick'em spot. Let's go Broncos. Let's ride, as they say, for Russell. He's going to cook. Hopefully not, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, because we know you will not take it, you won't even smell it. Minus 119 for our man Sean, who's never had a peanut butter sandwich in his entire life.
Picky fat guy here, folks. I've never had it. I could bring my mom on the show if you need that verified.
Broncos. Yes, we do want that verified by your mom. Yes, we will take you up on that. Broncos money line, the cheapest I can find right now, minus 119. Minus 119 Winner. On Broncos money line. And if you ask for it, you will receive Al Cervic. Let's talk about the next game and talk about it for the first time here on the show. It is our Sunday night live stream game. And I've got 2 spots. I got my first player prop of the season. And we do have
Bengals up here, Jim. We got some bad graphics. What happened? There we go. All right.
There you go. Don't worry. We got Jose on it, man. So I moved on my first player prop of the season, and I'm also on Chargers +3.5. And this has become a huge game because my dad also sent in $300 on the Ravens, and I did not send it in. So this has become a very important game for me. Ravens, Mark Andrews out with an ankle injury. And when I put my SGP together for tonight's show, I started thinking about those third downs, when Mark Andrews is so crucial, those red zone spots where he's so crucial. And I started thinking, well, Lamar's going to have to run a little bit more. And he's going to look for a spot and he's not going to see it. And he's going to have to run. So I've got his over 43.5 rush yards as my first player prop of the season. Andrews, of course, out. And so is linebacker Trenton Simpson. Now we have questionable issues with Beckham, Zay Flowers, Marlon Humphrey. They're expected to play. Are they going to be 100%? We'll see. We do have a question from Londo before we. Oh, but you got one more game after this. So let me speed all this up. We just haven't talked about this game and the Monday nighter. Gerald Everett going to play. That's a big deal. They weren't sure about it. He's going to play, and Jalen Guyton expected to play as well. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Those 3.5s are gone. The 3.5s are gone. This one is now a 3, and it's basically a pick 'em at a 3. So we've had a big move there from a total side of things. This one is sitting at 48.5 at Pinnacle. This opened up at 46.5. So we've gone up 2 points. Now it is juiced to the under and over for a cash flow spot here. In this one, we have 60% of the tickets, 63% of the cash on the Ravens, and the line's been moving towards the Chargers. You have 67% of the tickets, 61% cash on the over. Take it away for us here, Sean. Ravens, Chargers.
Chargers. I almost used Chargers money line in this spot here because I had the other small phase of my lines. But I'm going to Chargers. I'll take the points here because they just find ways to lose. Right. Last week I said just take Green Bay. Right. Don't go crazy here. Chargers shouldn't be laying points on the road. Proceed to do what Chargers do. This is why they've been a 500 team. Bad coaching, just bad plays. I'm taking them here at home. Ravens high flying, but again, his injury's a little banged up. I believe they have a bye week next week, which is good for them. But give me the Chargers here. Home dogs, NFL. Sign me up. I'm a dog guy anyway, and I have a team that everybody thought was going to win last week. No one's loving it. I would have liked the 3.5, but the Chargers are that's a whole nother show. We could talk about this Charger. Bill Belichick going to coach these guys for instance. Just take the Chargers. Folks, the Ravens are great. I got the Ravens, I think, to win the AFC. Good defense. Offense is there. Super Bowl head coach, the whole kit and caboodle for them. But Chargers in this spot, it's just a situation for me. Give me San Diego. Listen to me. Give me LA at home.
And you nailed the Packers-Chargers game last week. So you've got a great read on this squad.
That's the Chargers. That's why they're 9-8 or 8-8 or 7-9 or 10-6. This is how they are. And a game you don't think they're going to win? They're going to win this game.
We then have the Monday Nighter. The Monday Nighter for us, which is great because we're going to be talking all about it. From a total side of things in Chicago, Minnesota, this opened up at 45.5. It got down to 43. This came back up to 44 this morning, a full point move. Does that mean Jefferson's in? I've been saying I think he's in all week, and I want him to be announced in so I can bet the Bears. The Bears right now have gone from 4 to 3, and that 3 is juiced. Will it stay juiced if Jefferson's announced in? Maybe he's not going to be announced in because next week's a bye week. We discussed this heavy on our show on Tuesday. 59% of the tickets, 77% of cash is on the Bears. 57% of the tickets, 79% of cash is on the under. Health-wise, Caleb Evans, questionable cornerback for the Vikings, and Deonta Foreman not expected to play, but we know that the Bears have a lot of depth in that running back position. Take it away for us here, Sean. Bears, Vikings.
Yeah, and this is, the rhyme. There's really no rhyme or reason for me to take the Bears here, except for the fact that I'm just going to go against everybody's going to be on Minnesota. Nobody likes the Bears. All you hear about is their head coach. Terrible, right? I mean, what? Find me in the chat somebody says something nice about the Bears. There's none. There's zero talk about the Bears, and yet this line is 3. They haven't played that bad. Like, they lose, yes. I mean, Minnesota's not going to drop a 40 spot on. This isn't them going to Kansas City facing Mahomes. We're going to run out 40-20. Minnesota with this quarterback situation and still banged up in skill position spots, I don't think they're any better than Tampa Bay, and I saw the Bears should have probably beat a Tampa Bay squad. I'm taking the Bears here. Again, this is another one I want to take money line, but I'm going to grab the points because when you go ugly, sometimes you need a little help you can get with these ugly dogs. But again, the world's going to be on Minnesota. I'm just going against it. Sometimes you don't need any kind of scientific winners. I'm just going to take it, and it's going to win, and I'll be happy with a 4-1 week.
I love the Bears. Look, I'm just waiting. We've heard from Londo saying that he heard confirmation that Jefferson's out. I've not found that.
But again, even if he was playing, how great's he going to be? Everybody's hurt. It's what I'm saying. And then you got a new quarterback he hasn't thrown the ball with.
I'll be on it anyways. I would just like to see the public react to it and then bet against it personally. But notification by Bleacher Report today saying Jefferson's out. Okay, Sean has midday money in 2 minutes. We have a very quick question here from Londo because both, and I got 34.5. Both Bobano and I are on the over in Steelers Bengals. Did you have any interest in that total?
What's the total in the Steelers Bengals?
It opened up at 34.5. It's now up to 36.5 or 37.
He gets.
Yeah.
At 34, I would have said over because those kind of low totals I don't like. You can mistake your way. I had the Jets over the other day. You can mistake your way to over low totals. But I don't know. Tomlin's the defense. I'm going to say under. I'll as bad as the Cincy defense is. I'm not expecting Pittsburgh to put up like a 27 spot. So I'd still go under that. I think it's some added value there. So take the under, Mondo. I'm an under guy anyway, but under.
I'm an under guy. I'm 9 of my 10 totals are unders, but I am on the over in that one. And I'm going to be on the Browns. I would prefer to send it in. And
how crazy is the league changed, Jimmy? Like, I mean, a year ago, 2 years ago, you're betting overs left and right? It's been over. Everything's like 46. All these totals now are like 40s. The quarterback play, it's disgusting. It's terrible. Like these totals, how many games are under 40 this week?
It's fallen off a cliff. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's a anemic quarterback play. You have your big show in 1 minute, midday money. Sean, we love having you here. Please follow Sean on X, Mr. Sean Higgs. Sean, tell us a little bit about your show 7 days a week at noon, midday money.
Yeah, so I do my little live show. It's every day. I roll off some, it's like a free pick show, and I give you some of my picks, and then comments. I go through all the comments. So it goes as long as the comment section goes. And tonight, I know you guys do a Sunday night show. I do a look at line show on Sunday nights at halftime. I go through all the games for next week and give out games I've already bet on for the next week and where I think the lines are going to move in the next, day or so. So I don't know. Everybody loves the free stuff. Come on in. I got you covered, and I answer all the questions. It's a lot of chat back and forth. I see some of the cats in here. I know some of the guys in here. I saw Stemmy and Dan Kelly. Who else? Justin was in there. I see a bunch of guys I know. So good stuff.
We love capping with you, Sean. I'll reach out to you too if you could jump on any of our live streams this weekend. We'd love to have your insight. Go get him. Have a huge day and have a great show over at Midday Money. And please again follow Sean at Mr. Sean.
Yes, everybody. Good luck
on X. There he is. And we head south now. We head south. Very far south, down to Costa Rica, down to Escazú, Costa Rica, for your next guest. Currently ranked 6th out of 25 cappers here on Pub Sports Radio NFL Pub Hub. 9 and 7 plus 1.5 units. He put a lot of money in our pockets. Multi-sport handicapper. Please welcome my friend Flash to the show. Flash, how are you?
I'm good. I've been raped a couple of times with 95th minute goals over the weekend. So let's get it. Let's go to a real sport. Let's forget that soccer business. You know what I mean?
Sure. Let's go. We'll just go right past that. 1 p.m. Eastern, New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons is where we get started. And your breakdown here is going to concern me. Take it away here for us, Saints, Falcons.
Okay, obviously Saints can take a stronger hold in the NFC South. They're 8th in points allowed, whereas the Falcons are 24th in points scoring. I just think that the Saints D is gonna be the deciding factor. Again, when we're looking at -2, it's almost just money line. I think there's even 1.5s out there, but I just see the Saints being too strong. And the other one is, I looked at the 41.5 and thought that was too low, because when these two get together, they don't like each other. They're not conservative. They basically go hell for leather. So I just see that I want to be with the better D. The Saints, again, I'm going Falcons, 18th in points allowed. You know what I mean? That's just against a defense that's 8th. I'm thinking to myself, 3, 4, 5 points on the Saints against the Falcons. And the big one is that they can then basically take a stronger grip in the South, They've all got losing. They're all got, if you have a look at their recent trends, none of them can put back-to-back wins together. So I think this is just a one-off. I want to be with the Saints all the way.
Yes, I'm concerned. You're going up against Bobano and myself on the Falcons.
That gives me confidence, James. That gives me confidence. I might go in again.
As it should. You should double down. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. 1 p.m. Oh, did you want the over, though? Did you want to add the over in the Saints game?
No, because I've got too much, but I expect it to go over. I do expect it, but again, it's one of those. If the Saints get up, then I think that they will clamp it.
Bo Henny says, would love to link up with Flash down here in Escazú to pick his brain. I'll buy the drinks, he says.
Where
I'll
does he
buy
live
the
then?
drinks. He's down there. He's been down there. He's been down there for a while, Bo Henny. Bo Henny, hit him up on Twitter. That's where you can get connect with him. And I'd love to party with both you guys. We're trying to figure out, but let's keep rolling. Next up, 1 p.m. Eastern, Jacksonville Jaguars 7-3, 4-0 on the road at Houston Texans, 6-4, 4-1 home Energy Stadium, Houston, Texas. We've heard a lot of cappers talk about this game. We've set it all up, but let's hear how Flash is getting paid here. Take it away.
Oh, listen, this is a massive cement job for the Jags, and I have actually doubled down on this. I've gone in again. Listen, they're 4-0 on the road. That speaks volumes. They're 6-1 in the last 7, only beaten by, in my opinion, the best team in football in the 49ers. I just see that on this is like a winner. I think this would be too much for the Texans, to be honest. I think that they're going to maybe force the issues, and I just see Jackson. They put up high 20s every single week, apart from when they played against, hopefully, the Super Bowl champions in the 49ers. So you're going to give me, I got the Jags here at 3.6. I thought the Jags would be more than a field goal, and you're giving me -1.5. I've even done them on the money line, and I know you shouldn't go through 0, but I got them at +5 in a teaser with the Bills +9 and the Chiefs -3. And I was going to put the Chargers in at +9. It's all about the Jags for me. Jags money line, Jags -1.5. The Jags are now -1 in places as well.
Now, is this a double up spot here for the show? Do you want money line and spread?
No. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, because let's try. I want to get in the top 3 or 4. So yeah, that's 2 units then, isn't it? The money line is it -120, 125,
-113.
Oh, go on then. They're giving away money now, are they? It's Christmas time. Let's go then.
-113. I'll line shop for you on the spread. And with the New Orleans Saints spot, the money line there has gone down to -120. Did you want just the money line or the spread there, or both?
No, I want the spread. Spread's at -1.5. Yeah.
Well, the money line is the best line. Money line we get you is -120, and the best spread we can get you for the Saints is -1 at -1 at -113.
Yeah, -113 then. Let's take the 7 cents.
-1 at -113, and we're going to do both money line and the spread for the Jags. We'll get to that in a second, but let's talk about his final spot on the board: Rams Cardinals, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. As I said, I came very close earlier in the week to moving on both the Rams and the Cardinals. I did not. We've heard from Spenny in this game. Spenny's the only one who's discussed this spot, and he moved on the opposite of both those. He's on the Cardinals and the over 44. Let's hear how Flash is getting paid on it. His final game on the board, Rams Cardinals. Take it away, Flash.
Yeah, I've got the Rams at basically 4.8, so I'm getting 2.3 better with the -2.5. Now the thing is, the Cards 132 yards on the ground they've allowed. I'm thinking to myself, okay, if they allow anything like that, then the balance of the Rams throwing and being able to run, and also I think they'll set up. I know that they've been hit and miss with their pass defense and their rush defense, but I think they'll close down Connor and get the QB to throw the ball more. We know he's rusty. We know he's going to make mistakes, and if he's going to make mistakes, then I think we may see the old Rams today. And anyway, listen, I can't. Dogs chasing cars, right? There's no future in it. That's exactly the same as betting the Cardinals at any stage of the week. You know what I mean? I just cannot see. No money of mine will ever be on the Cardinals. How can it be? And now you've got a QB who's so rusty against a Rams D that can turn up. And you've got a balanced offense as well. I think that they'll run the ball well. I think they'll pass it. And that means the Arizona Cardinals won't know if they're Arthur or Martha.
I love it. I love it. With this spot, you do have a decision to make about the Rams because it's moved.
I know it's moved juicy, isn't it? Now up to 3.
Well, but you can get the -2.5 at -118.
Yeah, we'll take that. I've got them in a parlay as well with the Saints and Jags as well.
Rams -2.5 at -118. So Flash has the Saints -1 at -113. The Jags money line at -113 and the -1 at -106. And he's got the Rams -2.5 at -118. Flash, tell us what's going on for you at BetUS this week. What do you want us to know about?
Champions League, obviously tomorrow. There's a lot of teams that have got to put up performances. Otherwise, they're going to go into the dreaded Thursday, Sunday Europa League. And then it's basically La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, and Premier League. Averaging, 3 of the 4 shows are averaging 24 units of profit. If it wasn't for Serie A, and by the way, that was where I got done with my 95th minute goal today, my banker, where it'd be 75 units up so far, and we're in like week 13. So I think we're around the plus 50 units for soccer.
Keep getting that cash, Flash, my friend. And please follow Flash on X at Flash_37. Flash, thank you for always making time for us. It means so much to all of us. We love capping with you. We love hearing your insights. Get that cash, my friend. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Yeah, hopefully I'll see you again before Christmas anyway. But if not, may all your bets be winners, unless you're against my selections, and then just go and cry on your own.
Just go and cry on your own. There you go. Flash in the house. We move on. We are right on time with our schedule right now, which is great because your next guest has made a lot of moves on this card, and we don't need to rush. We can go through it comfortably. We head back up north to Kingston, Ontario, home of Canada's biggest prison. This next guy is having a great football season. He's been good here. He's ranked 5th out of 25 cappers, 19-19, but his average line is in the plus, so he's plus 1.76 units. Please welcome Mr. Birdie Betts to the show. Birdie, how are you, my friend?
I'm very good, Jimmy. How are you? And thanks for always equating me to the biggest prison in Canada. It's not my fault. I live in Kingston, and they have 9 prisons in a 50-mile span.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
No, it's a nice part of your the history of your city.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Let's get to work, Birdie. You're coming off back-to-back winning shows here, but both of these shows you've gone 500. It's just your plus line is taking you to there. And interestingly enough, when he was week 10 here, 5-5 plus 0.8 units, you destroyed that week with your personal action. You absolutely murked it. So let's get to work here and let's watch you stay strong. We start with the Carolina Panthers, Tennessee Titans. We heard Bobano bullish on the Titans. He said the Sharps with a butter knife, I believe he said, because we've seen the sharp action here on the Panthers, and it scares me very much because I have the Titans in my Survivor. So this is a game that means a lot to me. Take it away for us, Birdie. Panthers, Titans.
Yeah, it means a lot to me too, Jimmy. So you can't be confident about either of these teams. Levis had that one good game against the Falcons, showed up well, made some nice down the field passes. Carolina has been somewhat of a train wreck. We know that. It's just I'm getting 3 in the hook here on 2 bad teams. And the one thing I do like is that Wright has familiarity against this Titans defense. So I think from a coaching standpoint today, as crazy as it is, because I think Frank Wright is really probably packed it in. I do think against these AFC South teams, Wright can compete. I mean, we saw it against Houston. They went in there and won. I just like the 3 in the hook today. My numbers on my model say I have value on Carolina at 3.5. So I'm not overthinking it. I have 2 bad teams and they're giving me the hook. So I'll take Carolina 3.5 here. And they have no motivation to lose. That's what we have to remember. Yes, they're bad, but there's no motivation for them to just continue to pack it in. They have no first overall pick. So they're going to continue to fight and get better because guys are playing for jobs now. They have to play better. They have to eat. They have to feed their mortgages and pay their mortgages. So I'll take Carolina plus 3.5 and we'll move on.
You got it. Carolina plus 3.5 minus 108 available right now at Heritage. It's a little more juiced at Pinnacle and other books, but you got it minus 108 right here. Next up for you, Birdie.
Give
Yeah.
me the line that everyone can get. That's the fair.
Yeah, everybody can get it available at Heritage right now, plus 3.5, minus
Perfect.
108. Next up for you, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Indianapolis Colts, and thank you for caring a lot about getting me the line everyone can get. That's I love that. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Indianapolis Colts, Birdie, Lucas Oil. You have a side here, and floor is yours. We've debated it already. Let's hear how you're getting paid.
Yeah, I think we can get a 3 now. So I was going to take the Tampa Bay money line. My model says there's value on the Tampa Bay money line today. But if I can get a 3, I'll take the 3. I know it's a bit juicy, but I'll take the 3 points. Some guys made some good points about this spot for the Colts. So I'll transition to the plus 3 and whatever juice you can give me. I also put Tampa Bay into a 6-point teaser. So I have them up to 8.5 on another play. For me, the Tampa Bay offense has showed life. I know the perception out there is Baker's bad, and I love kind of hearing and seeing that perception. I mean, they moved the ball up and down the field on the 49ers last week. They just struggled when they got into 49er territory. But they're moving the ball, and they're moving the ball against everybody. We have two kind of bad defenses here that are susceptible to points. But I think the Tampa Bay defense can do enough to step up more so than the Colts defense can. So I think this is an okay spot for Tampa. I'm happy getting a 3 now. I wouldn't argue anyone that wants the Tampa Bay money line. I think there's value, especially now, because I think you're into that 130, 140 range. But we'll just stick with the plus 3 here and the teaser leg with the 8.5.
You got it. You are locked in, and we'll discuss that teaser leg here right now. We'll discuss it right now. So you have the Buccaneers plus 3 at minus 121. You are tying it up with the Cleveland Browns, Broncos, Empire Field. So you have the Bucs at plus 8.5 and the Browns at plus 7.5. Just touch on your Brown spot, please.
Sure. I just think matchup-wise, this really sets up well for the Cleveland offense, and we can't say that very often. Denver's defense just really struggles bad against the run, and I don't think Stefanski's going to give up on the run. Now you're factoring in a mobile quarterback, probably more mobile than Dobbs was, and Minnesota probably got a bit robbed last week, a couple of untimely turnovers, but that's what Denver's doing. So I'm staying away from the points here on either side. I'm going to move the Browns up to 7.5 and pair them with the Tampa Bay 8.5 at that 120 teaser. But I do think the Browns offense is in for a good day today. And there's probably going to be points because someone made the point about Cleveland's defense not traveling. I think it could have been TJ. And that's true. And that's historically true. So I think we're going to see some points here today.
You got it. You got it locked in. That's your teaser 8.5 and 7.5. We're going to start. Well, your next spot is a parlay. You're using the money line in Steelers Bengals, and then we'll tie it into your next spot. But talk about your use of the Steelers money line first and foremost.
Sure, I really like this spot for the Steelers today. I'm sorry I didn't write down the exact number, but Mike Tomlin in his 17-year or 18-year head coaching career has only lost one time to a first-time starting quarterback. I just think this is a good spot for Pittsburgh, coming off a loss, losing at Canada finally, and that's got to spark their offense. I mean, it can't get worse. It's only going to get better. And if they do score some points here, and we're going to expect Browning to come in and have to score points, I mean, let's be honest. The Bengals haven't been a very good football team all year. Joe Burrow has covered up a lot of mistakes on that defensive side. That defense hasn't been very good for Cincinnati all season. And they've been healthy off and on for most of the year, and they still haven't been good. So I really like this spot for Pittsburgh, and I wanted to find a way to get 2 units for the show on here. So the first thing so I'm taking them, as you said, Steelers money line, and I'm tying it into a couple of different spots here.
So Steelers money line minus 130 right now, Pinnacle. And are you referring to Pittsburgh's loss last week to DTR? Yeah, I still haven't moved on
but
the.
DTR started, didn't he? Before? Oh no, he came in that game, didn't he? Did he come into that?
Yeah, no,
he played earlier in the year, but I don't know. He did start that game because it was a last minute start, and that's why he looked so bad. So
yeah,
no, he
did start. Okay. I feel you. Then yeah, it's a little bit off. Here, I'm still waiting. I would prefer to send this in instead of betting it at Pinnacle. And Bet365 has not moved off this. It's still at 2 here and 2.5 everywhere else. So I'll give it about 15 more minutes and then bet it at Pinnacle if I have to. Here. Yeah, Dan's guy said no, he started, but he found it 2 hours before the game. So Steelers money line. You've also got this Steelers money line with a couple spots here. So you have Steelers money line alone. You have your first spot with the Falcons.
No, I'm not. I'm not taking the Steelers money line alone. I'll just
Okay,
take
you're
it with
not.
those 2 spots. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought that you
Yeah.
had changed that plan. Okay, Steelers money line, and you're adding it with the next spot on the board, Saints Falcons, and using an alternate line. Talk to us how you're handling it.
Yeah, I take this game from a side perspective. I mean, if you're a trends guy, you can find solid trends on both sides. So I'm just going to take the points with the Falcons up to 7.5. Falcons lose these types of games, but they're not getting blown out in them. They find a way to lose these types of games. But, I mean, I want to lean Falcons here in this game because I think if you look at what that head coach with the Saints has done in the division, it's just been horrible. But picking a side in this game just at these numbers just isn't something I want to do. So I'm going to take the up to 7.5, tie it with the Steelers money line and lock that in.
So Steelers money line, Falcons plus 7.5 was plus 127. Then you have the Steelers money line, and it's parlayed with a spot in Rams Cardinals State Farm Stadium. Take it away.
Yeah, 2 teams going 2 different directions. Rams still have playoff hopes in that NFC, so I like this spot. It's a short spread, divisional game. The Rams are going to have enough of that offense starting to really take advantage of this porous and very injured Arizona defense. So I'll go that route. I mean, Murray has looked good, and it's funny because Dobbs was towards the end was getting blown out of games after being competitive early. And now we got Murray coming back, and Murray's that much better than Dobbs. That's making Arizona competitive again. And I think in games where we're getting 3.5, 6.5, 7.5 on the Cardinals, there'll be some value there. But I'm going to take advantage of this low number with the Rams and tie it with Pittsburgh money line.
The Rams, Pittsburgh money line just move, or it's at minus 130. Sorry, minus 130. Rams money line minus 147. You put that together for a plus 197 parlay in Rams Cardinals. Let's move on to the next game. We have 2 more games with Birdie, and they're huge ones. We finally get to talk Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders. So this is the first time we get to talk about it here on the show, and it's important. And it's important with the way how Birdie you're handling this game. And then I'd like to discuss sort of the ideology behind it. Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. The Chiefs 7-3, 3-1 on the road. Raiders 5-6, 4-1 at home. McCole Hardman and Jerick McKinnon, Kadarius Toney all out for the Chiefs. The team devoid of playmakers has lost a couple, a few marginal ones. And then for the Raiders, Max Crosby is being listed as doubtful. They keep saying that he'll do whatever he can to play, but I don't know if anybody has the last minute information on Crosby. We have Marcus Epps, safety, who is questionable. Same with Robert Spillane and Roderick Teamer. Spillane, the linebacker, and Roderick Teamer, another safety, and Colton Miller out with questionable. Tackle Colton Miller questionable with the shoulder injury. From a spread perspective, we've seen a move back to the Raiders. Is that saying that he's in? I wonder if it's saying that.
Well, last night it was reported he was out, went 10. Then there was a report that he's fighting as hard as he can to play, and then it came back down.
Down to 9.
Still no official word.
That makes sense. And then from the total scenario here, we are down to 42.5, and this is a 43 at right now, 43 at Pinnacle. But it's not. It was a real 43. It's no longer a real 43. It's juiced to the under. From a cash flow perspective here. I can't wait to watch this. I have so much interest in what happens in this game. 68% of the tickets, it just moved. 65% of tickets, but just 35% of the cash on the Chiefs. Then 55% of tickets and 97% cash on the under. So let's talk about the difference here because, Birdie, when I saw this total, it jumped out at me like no other total on the board today because it made no sense. Neither team's playing close to this number now for 3 or 4 games. So you can say the books are putting this number at what their season-long numbers are, or you could say the books are setting this up so that we'll all bet the under. Now, some people have more fear or respect. I don't know what the right word is about what the markets do, but this to me, I couldn't bet it because it made no sense to me. Now, the fact that it's gone from 43.5 down to 42.5, at least the markets are a little concerned with people betting the under. But how in the world can they put it at a number where neither team's getting close to reaching? It just, I don't know. I know that the books are waiting around the corner to shank you. And this felt like that to me. Now, it didn't scare you, and I respect that.
No.
You're on this bet, so I'm going to be cheering heavy for you to catch this because I wanted to bet it. Take it away for us here, Birdie. Chiefs, Raiders.
Okay, I'm going to talk out this game, but 43.5 was my number. I bet it earlier in the week at 44.5. Last night when I sent this, it was 43.5. I can't take a 40. I can't tell people to take a 42.5 here. So I'm just going to take this one off my board. The reason why I like the under, we'll talk about this game if you want. If you want to continue to talk about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs are interesting because we think this offense is going to just suddenly get right. I've said this a few times on the show in these spots is sometimes you got to trust your eyes. This Chiefs have to play football differently this year, and they're set up to now because their defense is so good. I don't think we're going to see the Chiefs be a 30-point team too much, and they probably will at some point. And today could be the day, because if Crosby doesn't play, then that really limits what the Raiders can do on defense. And let's be honest, the Raiders defense has probably been better than what everyone thought they were capable of. And I think a big factor in that is the fact that Crosby gets so much pressure. So I'm going to have to stay off this game. I think the Chiefs are a defense team. They're kind of transitioning into what the Patriots transitioned into, where the defense is just really good and the offense doesn't lose the game. Unfortunately for the Chiefs is Mahomes is losing games every now and again with these turnovers where Brady didn't. And that's where the evolution has to come. And I think I'm hoping Reed's smart enough to do that here moving forward, is just to understand you can win games 17-14. And it might be something that they're going to have to really kind of convince Mahomes on, because I think you get a bit of ego and doing things a certain way, and when that way isn't presenting itself can affect you. But the reality of it is the Chiefs don't have to win games by 20, 30 points. Their defense is so solid that they're going to keep scores down. And then if you look at their next 6 games, they have negative rest advantage in all of those games. The Chiefs are in a very, very horrible scheduling spot the next 6 weeks. So they need to get in and they need to get out. So there's no motivation to run up scores. It's about winning a game, staying healthy, preparing for the next game on short rest, because that's their life now the next 6 weeks. So that's why I like the underlook here. But to me, it's dropped a little bit too far for me to tell anyone to take a 42.5 on under when we could have got 44.5 earlier in the week.
I get it. Rogue Energy giving us a final score of 31-10. So that is taken off of your action, Birdie. Let's go into the Monday Nighter. This is a spot that I want to join you. You're on the same side as Sean Higgs. I'm just waiting. I mean, I don't see a world where I could go under 3, but I do see now it's been announced, I guess, that Jefferson is out. And I'll look into that. I haven't checked that out yet here. But take it away for us here, Birdie. Bears, Vikings, Monday Nighter, US Bank Stadium.
Yeah, John brought up a good point. I don't think the Bears are getting enough respect. They've been competitive in all their games. They should have won last week in Detroit. Now, I think we're seeing now that the lines may be a little bit overvalued the last couple of weeks. But the reality of it is that was still a really good game by the Bears. And they've been playing well. Since Eberflus took over that defense, the Bears as a whole has transitioned and started playing very good football. Now, it's not transitioning to win, but they're competitive in games. And we're playing a Minnesota team here that I think you're going to struggle to score points again. I mean, Dobbs now has tape. I think this is a good spot. If we can we still get the 3.5?
It's expensive. I'd already have betted if we. I mean, I should have betted earlier, but I had stupid Jefferson thing in my head. The plus 3.5 is minus 138.
Nah, we'll take the 3.
The threes are juiced. The best 3 that I can get you is minus 114.
Okay, I'll take the 3. I think that's still fair. I just think this is a good spot for the Bears. And I mean, if someone wanted to bet the Bears money line, I wouldn't say you were crazy here. I think the Vikings are a little bit overvalued right now. I think the world's going to be on the Vikings here. I think the Vikings are a great story again. But this Bears team, they're competitive. They're better than what people think.
I like it. I like it. I really do like this spot. I want to join you on it. Birdie, great to have you on the show, my friend. Let's review Birdie's action. He starts with Carolina plus 3.5, minus 108. Then he's on Tampa Bay plus 3 at minus 121. He's a teaser, Tampa Bay plus 8.5, Browns plus 7.5. He's got a parlay, Steelers money line and Falcons plus 7.5. He's got a parlay, Steelers money line, Rams money line. You can get that at plus 197 right now at Pinnacle. And he's got the Bears plus 3 at minus 114. Please follow Birdie on Twitter at Birdie_bets. He puts out all of his action each week for NFL, and then he gives his record, and it's a great follow. Birdie, keep up the excellent work, my friend. Thank you for making time for us. Do you have any last words for Capper supporting the show?
Thanks very much, guys. I love this show. I love everybody in this chat. I love you, Jimmy. It's a love-filled day. Londo, I lean over in that game, my friend. Win them all this weekend, Jimmy, except the ones we're head-to-head on.
You're a good man, Birdie. You are a good man. Birdie is in business. We head from Kingston down to Las Vegas, Nevada for your next guest. He's been running with us for the last little while, and he's been extremely enjoyable on our live streams, getting huge laughs from all of us, and also a lot of real thoughtful, strong sharp looks on all of these games. He's been very good in the prop market as the side and totals. Here for us, he's picked out 3 spots that he is attacking. Star of Tony's picks. Please welcome Ramon Scott to the show. Ramon, how are you, my friend?
Hey, real good, Jimmy. Thanks for having me today. Great NFL day. Not in the terms of overwhelming card. Yeah, we got the afternoon, blockbuster, but close games. I mean, you look up and down that early window. I mean, every game is like a field goal or less for the most part. So bettors, enjoy while you can. Enough of those complaining about those lopsided games.
Yeah, we got a fun one, and we got some fun ones this evening as well as we're this afternoon with Philadelphia, obviously, and then we have our Sunday night live stream. Let's get to work, Ramon, right off the hop. We start at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Indianapolis Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. We've had this game talked about quite a bit. We had Bobano give us the Colts and the over. We had Spenny give us the Bucks money line and the Bucks spread, as well as Otten and Downs props. We had Sean Higgs give us the Colts minus 2.5. We had that. Oh, and then we had Birdie give us the Bucks plus 3 at minus 121. It's been a hotly contested or debated spot here. Take it away for us. How are you getting paid, Ramon, in Buccaneers Colts?
Yeah, Jimmy, with these two, Birdie hit it, talking about the Bucks and their good-looking offense last week against the Niners. It did look pretty good. It was those 2 turnovers that actually killed them in that one. And, well, I got the unenviable task of following up Birdie. I mean, that's tough enough. But I'll kind of side with what Bobana was saying earlier about this game. And I think over is my call. You got suspect Tampa Bay defensive secondary already reportedly banged up coming into this one. And the Colts have been getting lit up pretty good all season in the pass defense. Both teams, bad pass defense. Colts have had these high-scoring games going all season. So Evans can go here, I would think, with Baker and have a strong game against the weak Indianapolis secondary. The Colts coming in off a bye. They're a pretty fast-paced offense, I think. I'm concerned about Taylor, but maybe they're just reducing his workload. the production, when he carries the ball, he still looks great, right? It looks like you want him in there every time. Maybe they know. I mean, granted, you're still in a struggle here to pick up victories, important games, nonetheless. But you do want to, use your workhorse back. We just haven't seen him with the production yet since the injury, so just a little bit of concern, but maybe not. I mean, when he holds and carries the ball and he's off and running, he looks pretty good. So I do like that look on Josh Down. Who was that? Spenny, of course. Was that Spenny, Jimmy?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you were looking for one extra score, I guess if you had to pick a couple guys, I'm going over. So I've been loving the shows with you guys and talking about players and everything. Josh Downs. I mean, certainly Michael Pittman would be primed also to open up and have a strong game here to support this over. But Josh Downs is going to be he was the hot guy on the fantasy shows this week. I think everybody agrees with that. So you still could get some pretty good money on Josh Downs, it looks like, with some of those props. Take a look at what those guys said. Also for Tampa Bay, I want to see Rachaad White. Actually, if I'm Tampa Bay, I want to kind of look to, balance it out with the run. That will make Evans that much more effective and the other good wide receivers for Tampa Bay. Let's look to go over. There is some concern. These guys have been involved in some unders, but if you look at the team totals for these two teams, Tampa Bay, they've been in some unders, certainly, but their team total 4-4-2, an even mark, but certainly better than their over-under record, which leans under. Indianapolis, meanwhile, 7-2-1 to their over on the team total. So I'm just going to ride here, though, with the game total to go over here with Tampa Bay and Indy, with, couple of old gunslinging quarterbacks still looking to keep their careers going a little bit. I'm sure the storylines will be all about Uncle Rico and I don't know what is Baker's nickname? We got to have something for him.
I don't know. I know Jose has a few nicknames for him, and they're not very, very nice. They're not very nice, Ramon. But you're locked.
Gigantic Pussy is what his nickname is, Ramon. Gigantic Pussy.
Wow, that's one I hadn't heard of. I don't know if they can print that in the papers, but yes, Jose does have a few different nicknames for him. Over 44.5 at -108 for you, Ramon. You are locked in. We move on to the next spot on the board. We have Saints Falcons, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. We've talked about this game, and you're going to give me confidence here with my action. Take it away, Ramon. Saints Falcons.
Yeah, right. Everybody, I know we've had some discussion on the show so far about the Saints defense. The numbers are there, certainly, that proven with some of their rankings defensively. Note the weak schedule. I don't know if I didn't look at it. Might be the weakest. I don't know. It's a pretty weak schedule, and we've made fun of this game a little bit, but come on, this is the battle. This is the battle for first place. I mean, this is a big game. So, a lot of talk also about the Falcons series dominance or the Saints series dominance over the Falcons, but note the Falcons have gotten the money in 3 of the last 4 meetings, even though they hadn't won all those games. So I think they've made the right move to go back to Ritter. I don't know what that was all about. Heineke, if you look at the metrics, it would say maybe should roll with him again a little bit, but I think Ritter, they still kind of go back to that, Ritter doesn't lose at home at any level type of thing. And he was putting up some pretty okay numbers. You don't want to bet on either of these teams, it would seem like, with a combined spread record of 4-15-1 this season, Jimmy. But New Orleans, for their 2-7-1 record, they've been favored in every game but one. And the game that they were an underdog, they did win that game 1-7-1 as favorites here, and they're laying this small price to Atlanta. I'm taking them on the money line, but Atlanta just 2-6 against the spread. We're just going to try to win this game and get out of here with a little plus money. New Orleans lost 2 weeks ago at Minnesota, and look, Drake London's coming on. I mean, I really think Drake London is the guy that you really want to look to. Look, Bijan, please get the ball. We know the Saints going to give a little bit of credit to their defensive numbers, despite me trying to talk it down with the strength of schedule. But, Falcons run defense not too bad either. So the Saints really should pass the ball. Michael Thomas, we know he's out. Doesn't matter. They've got the San Diego connection of my guys, Rashid and Olave. So I like those guys a lot, but I want to roll with Atlanta here just at home. I mean, almost to dumb it down, right? Division game at home. Team in the chase. Give me Arthur Smith, my guy. His dad really he wanted to be the vice president of FedEx Logistics, but his dad said, "You know what, Arthur?" Because he knew his overall talent level. Really, he's like, maybe football coaching might be for you. So on the Jimmy the Bag side, I'm showing 2-1 average bet, 2-1 margin. Bigger bets are coming in on the Falcons in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right with you. Plus 106 available right now at Pinnacle. I'll see if we can get you better than that, but I bet it at plus 105. I'm right there with you. I like that Arthur Smith could have just been, just the richest guy in the world, and instead he's focused on this. I'm not as down on him with his coaching performance with this Falcons squad. I think it's a tricky thing, and now he's without Grady Jarrett, and so I know Bobano disappointed in what he's done, but I'm not, and I'm with you here on the Falcons. We are going up against Flash in this one, but it's you, me, and Bobano against
switch
Flash.
the turnover margin on these two teams in the last 2 weeks. That's the luck factor, supposedly. So I'm taking a home team with some points in division.
I like it. Your final spot on the board, a big one. Buffalo Bills, Philadelphia Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 47 Fahrenheit rain, 7 miles per hour. You're with me and who else? We had someone else give this out here just a second ago, and I'll grab it. I don't want to misquote somebody, but you're with me on this next move. And I was a little nervous to see the line history start moving back towards the under. It's now just slightly, but some books are moving to the over. It's just Pinnacle has moved it slightly towards the under. Take it away for us. Big game. I'm still interested in backing the Bills here, but I'm not going to take them at 3. I need a 3.5, and even then I was hesitant. Take it away for us here. Final spot on the board: Bills, Eagles.
Okay, Jimmy, I got toasted at playing unders here on the last week. I heard you talk about your unders today. I want everyone, hey, I'm a tout, whatever, but I'm heavy on unders, Jimmy, no doubt. But I came in here on the show with an over, and I want to talk about putting up some big points here with these two teams. Of course, I could just leave it. We'll add some great conversation already. I could, both teams are averaging over 26 points per game. Thank you, Jimmy, and I'll hopefully be invited back. But I show clear weather for the most part. I do see that rain, but it might even hold off a little bit here to the end of the game. So I think that's interesting here. Philly should run convincingly here. Yeah, they might look to think they can run the clock, but they might get involved in a little something here, of course, with the Bills and Allen, because there's no reason for the Bills to think that they'll be able to achieve anything on the ground. So why not just continue to do it through the air here against Philly? That certainly, if there's one weakness to this team, it's on their pass defense. Luckily for them, the Chiefs can't catch the ball. Otherwise, we'd have a different narrative here possibly in this game. Philadelphia pass defense, very, very suspect. I think it was kind of almost evident in that game to a certain extent. The Chiefs, I don't know if that's bad luck or bad hands, but whatever the case may be, the Eagles, skated out of there alive and did a nice job, actually. And I think they'll get some things done here. Jimmy, Philadelphia home games averaging 56.5 points per game. Just this one's a little shout out Mike M tidbit here. Home teams off a Monday night game are at 8 straight overs when the total has been 44 points or higher. That's home teams, 8 straight overs off a Monday night game when their next total is 44 points or higher. Also, Buffalo, 8 straight games, they've gone over as an underdog of 2 or more points. Now, it's a bit of a several year sample there. They haven't been underdogs that often, but 8 straight overs last 4 years as a dog of 2 or more. So look, I'm going to look for the Bills to get things done. I think Gabe Davis is a good receiver. Maybe there's confidence issues to a certain extent for him. Diggs can go off. Did anybody talk about Shakur? Shakur, because he's the secret guy today, right? He's the fantasy secret today, Shakur. So it's just like the last game. You need that one extra touchdown, and yeah, they have good prop odds too. I'd look to the Bills, Shakur here. I don't think the strategies the Eagles to get involved in a game like this, it might be detrimental to them covering, and I think the Eagles can and should win this game by margin. But if they end up getting caught, they just keep pounding the ball, Eagles. I know that's a little bit of what would Birdie call it? Reverse negative game script or something. But still, the Eagles might get tempted a little bit to get it going through the air here with Buffalo, especially if Buffalo is having success, like you might expect they could, because of the Eagles' one, notable weakness at pass defense. Over 49.5 here. I think I just tacked a half. It might be 49.5, Jimmy. I'm not calling Jose's graphics stale, but I think we've seen a move here.
You have a choice here, actually. 48 at minus 118, or 48.5 minus 109, 49 at minus 103.
You know me. Let's take the worst out. Let's take the worst out. Actually, those are right on. Those are equal. But and that's a lot of times people forget when talking about the juice, right? It's almost the same thing to a certain extent. But let's give it the toughest line. Go up as high as we can. That's what we do here. That's what
49
we do.
minus 103. You like it. All right. Our guy, Ramon Scott. Ramon, I'm going to reach out so you can hopefully jump on with us on our live streams either tonight or tomorrow night, because I've enjoyed hanging with you immensely. Ramon Scott, Buffalo, Philadelphia, over 49. Falcons, money line, plus 106. Over 44.5, minus 108 in the house. There's our guy, Swiss Horton. Oh, showing up. There's the Star Child's in the house, too. Star Child's showing up.
MVP Swiss.
That was he is MVP Swiss. That's show enough break. That was so funny, dude. Okay, Ramon, I love it. Get that cash, my friend. Can you tell everybody a little bit about what's going on for you at 20's Picks and where they can find you?
Swiss has bought everybody in this chat room a membership but me. Here we go, Jimmy. Please, every day, 7 days a week, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. The show is The Morning Steam. I better say that, Jimmy. You need please say that. Tony T is the star of the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Believe me. But nonetheless, I'm there every day previewing the card, all the major sports. I even did some college basketball today. So, and the chat, they're the most important. I didn't realize, Jimmy, when trying to chase you down and get on some of these shows and really try to enjoy myself a little bit more on these. It said my screen time is down from 15.5 hours to 15.25 hours over the last 2 weeks. So I must be doing something right. But what I've learned is that the chat is the most important thing that you're doing when you sit there and think you're a big time sports analyst on YouTube. And it really isn't about you at all. And it's about those people telling you good or bad. And the ones that are bad, you try to win them over. It's amazing what I've learned in 15 months.
It's wild. It was the first thing I knew instantly. And I had huge.
That's why you're you.
I had huge people fighting against me at SBR for that. So many people fighting against me for that. And I was like, you guys don't see this clearly. I do. And they're the most important. And they're like, but we can get into all that later. I love it. My man, Ramon, I'll be in touch with you today. Go get that cash again. Ramon's on the Buffalo, Philadelphia, over 49, Falcons money line, and Tampa, Indianapolis, over 44.5. And follow him on X at Ramon Scott Media. Ramon, my man, I'll be in touch. All right, let's move on to our final spot on the board, because we got 15 minutes till kickoff. And I love your next guest. He's been here he's 14-12, minus 0.15 units. He started out very strong, and he's had a couple tough breaks in the last bit to have him just by a taint here under in the red. But man, has he been hot across the board, and especially on our live shows as well. He's a money maker. Please welcome from Arizona, by way of California, star of the Picks from Dave YouTube channel, Dave Rogers, to this show. Dave, how are you, my friend?
I'm great, Jimmy. How you doing, buddy?
I am good, my guy. I am good. Great job in the poker tournament. By the way, you came 4th place. You also won the last longest competition. You just missed the $109 ticket, but you were excellent. We are going to talk more about our next poker game here shortly, but we need to get right into Dave's action. Dave, you got 3 spots on the board, and you are coming at the Cleveland Browns Denver Broncos game in a way that nobody else is. So take it away here for your plan. Empire Field, Mile High, Denver, Colorado, Browns, Broncos.
Yep.
See, in this one, I wanted to take the Browns so bad. It seems kind of like a trap spot to me. I'm just not high on the Broncos, even though they've done better than anyone could have expected. But I'm looking at a prop here, and I'm looking at Cortland Sutton to get a touchdown. I got him at plus 179. He's done that the last 5 games. And I know that kind of sounds crazy with such an elite defense. In fact, I think Cleveland's the best defense, first or second best pass defense in the league. But the last 4 or 5 games Sutton did this, he was facing top 10 defenses. And he's also competing with Jerry Jeudy for that top look. He's getting 5, 6, 7 looks a game. And even when he's getting 2 or 3 looks, he's taking the ball down the field, and at least a few of those looks are in the red zone area, or at least on their half of the field. So if that's going to be Wilson's kind of go-to guy, even though we're looking at a tough defense, I think we're getting a good price. And ride the trend. He's done it the last 5 games. I'm gonna jump on, and I got Cortland Sutton anytime TD at plus 179.
Cortland Sutton, anytime touchdown, locked in. Now we move on to the Buffalo Bills, Philadelphia Eagles spot. And maybe this will give some people on the fence a little more confidence to press the button, because we just heard from Ramon, and now you're going to hear from Dave Rogers, Lincoln Financial Field. Take it away, Dave.
And I'll no suspense here. I like Ramon's take on this, and it's exactly my bet. I'm on the over. You have 2 teams. They're 5th and 6th in points per game, 27 and 27.3 and 26.7. Not only that, they're teams that move the ball down the field. Philadelphia 1st and 3rd down conversions, 1st and 4th down conversions, 9th in the red zone. Buffalo is 2nd and 3rd down conversions, 10th and 4th down conversions, 3rd in the red zone. Teams that get the ball down the field and they score. And when you try to poke holes in it, nothing in Buffalo, either on their rush offense or defense, or their pass offense or defense, makes me think they can't. They're average to above average in every single category. And Philly's kind of back and forth. We know they have an elite rush defense, but their pass defense stinks, and that's what Buffalo's best at. So you kind of have this wavering back and forth when you're trying to poke holes in this. And I'm just going to say they score a lot of points. Nothing makes me think they aren't.
Now you have the same option as Ramon.
I'll take the lesser juice. Yeah, give me
49 minus 102.
Yep.
That's changed the cent since Ramon got it at minus 103. So
we tie. So what?
Slight line moves again to the under. Over 49 minus 102. I'm right with you on this over. Bet on Tuesday. So we move on to your final spot on the board here, Dave, and it is Monday Night Football, the live stream that you will be a big part of. Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And you are going to give us the other side. We've had 2 cappers already come on and give us the road team. And you have been cashing on this Vikes squad throughout the season and seeing their games very clearly. Take it away for us here, Dave. Bears, Vikings.
Yeah, I think this line's too short. It's by my number, Minnesota should be winning by a touchdown. Hey, look, I mean, the stats and the trends, and a lot of people want to be, the anti-guy, but Minnesota's covering. They're 6-0 their last against the spread, their last 6. They're 5-0 their last 5 against the conference. And Chicago's sort of in the middle, 3-3-1 in the conference, 3-3-3 as the away team, and they've kind of been alternating back and forth, cover, non-cover, cover, non-cover, if that makes sense. But that doesn't correlate at all. But that's just what's happening. But really, what you have is Minnesota, who's got an above. They've got the 11th best passing offense. Oh, wait a minute, that's not what it is. It's 11th most points for and the 14th best points against. So that's telling you they have above average offense and defense. While Chicago, they give up 26 points a game. That's 3rd worst in the league, and they score almost 21 points a game, and that's 18th, slightly off the mark. I just think Minnesota's a better team. They throw the ball, and they throw it well. They're 5th in pass attempts, and they're 4th in passing yards per game. And conversely, Chicago has a horrible defense, bottom 10 in most statistical categories. So you have a team that scores more points, that gives up less points, and the thing that one team does often and well, the other team stinks at. So I'm not going to overthink it past that. I think Minnesota wins by a touchdown, like I said. So I'm taking Minnesota.
And this line just keeps moving towards Chicago. Wow. The Vikings -3 is now plus 103. Wow.
Good. Let's go.
Wow. Vikings -3 and this is at Pinnacle as at plus 103, which means Jefferson must have been announced out. Kong's Clips was saying, was it Kong's or Londo? I'm gonna have to figure out if I want the Bears to move on earlier. I guess I don't know. I've got some time to think it over. We have our guy Dave Rogers on Cortland Sutton anytime touchdown plus 179. Buffalo, Philadelphia over 49 minus 102. Vikings minus 3 at plus 103. I know that you are transitioning sports sort of here with college football, in the denouement of their season. What's your plan over at the Picks from Dave YouTube channel?
Well, the Saturday show we are sunsetting. It was for college football, and we could do it for college basketball, but I think there's a lot more interest on the football side. Even though you know that I love betting and watching college basketball, we're gonna probably do some live streams and things for major games at night. But the Friday night show will be back next week. Nerd Talk, that'll be every Friday. We'll be betting that night's games, all of them, and talking about the weekend and our plans and how we're going to attack that. So that's what we're doing. Picks from Dave on Twitter or X and YouTube. And thanks for having me.
Oh, I love it, Dave. Thank you for being here, my man. There we go. Let's review all action. This is great timing. We have 7 minutes till kickoff. And of course, we have the big show and Sharpie Red Zone show that pops off in 7 minutes. I bet the Bengals. Got them plus 2.5 at minus 109. I wasn't able to send it in. It is what it is. I want that hook, even though it's not that important. So whatever. It is what it is. Let's just move back here for my action then. I have Pittsburgh, Cincinnati over 34.5. I'm very confident in that. I have Cleveland, Denver under 35.5. The market's gone heavy against me on that. Buffalo, Philadelphia over 48. I'm not that confident in. Falcons, money line. I like very much. Chargers plus 3.5. I feel very good about, but as you know, it's become a really important game financially for me, or more important than the others, I should say. Not really important, but more important than the other because I have my 250, but my dad sent 300 for me to put him on the Ravens, and I didn't send it in. So now 550 on the game. So I guess a little over 2 units. Then whatever. Lamar Jackson over 43.5 rushing yards. My first player prop of the season, and setting up my SGP, which I'll share with you guys because it's a rec bet. I don't tweet it out. It's just for you guys for the Sunday night live stream. And if I didn't cash out in my one on Thursday night, I'd be sitting 4-4 on them. But it's all good. So Lamar Jackson over 43.5 rush yards is a big part of my SGP. Okay, so in Pub Sports Circa Millions, we need the Browns plus 1.5, Falcons at the pick'em, and Titans minus 3.5 to have a winning week. And we need to have our 5th winning week in a row, or we can kind of kiss goodbye to the dream of the top 100. Bobano is on the over 47.5 in Jacksonville, Houston. He's on the Colts money line, the over 44.5 in Tampa, Indianapolis. He's on Titans minus 3, minus 124. Steelers money line, and the over 35.5. Troy, thank you. Thank you for sounds like some shit. It's but it's just a rec bet, and I would rather save it for the people who come into our live stream anyways. I enjoy that very much. So it's look, it's all about statistics and analyzing your numbers, and you're the best at that, Troy. You and Dan Kelly, and so we'll see what it looks like at the end of the year, overall, and we'll see if that's something that I might want to move forward to in the future. But I've enjoyed it immensely rocking with you guys with it. Falcons plus 2.5, minus 115 for our guy Bobano. Browns plus 2 at minus 110. Bills plus 3, and the over 48 minus 116. Spenny Penny Bombs, Bucks plus 2.5. Bucks money line. Kate Otten over 25.5 and 40 plus. Josh Downs over 46.5 and 60 plus. He's on the Jags money line. Evan Ingram over 44.5 and 60 plus. Derrick Henry over 68.5 and 100 plus. Mingo over 26.5 and 40 plus. Browns plus 2.5. Ford over 48.5 and 60 plus. Cardinals money line. Arizona, LA Rams over 44. And Troy, my man, can rock with us. You'll see Troy rocking with us on the live stream tonight. There's our guy, Swiss Horton. I love it. Blessing all of our action with a $19.99 dono. You're such a great friend of the channel, Swiss. I'd love to have you on tonight too for the live stream. I'll reach out to you, see if you can join us. We need you, man. You've been such a big part of everything that we're doing here, and need you on screen. Jags money line for Sean Higgs. He's on Colts minus 2.5. Broncos money line, and he's on Chargers plus 3. God, I didn't put that. I got a line. I didn't put the line in there. Chargers +3 and Bears +3 at -105. Flash is on the Saints -1, the Jags money line and -1, and he's on Rams -2.5. So it gave Flash even more confidence to go heads up with me, and it will be fun sending him messages throughout that football game. Birdie's on Carolina +3.5, Tampa Bay +3, Tampa +8.5, Browns +7.5, and a teaser. Steelers money line, Falcons +7.5, and a parlay +127. He's on Pittsburgh money line, Rams money line, parlay +197, and he's on the Bears +3 at -114. Ramon gave us the over 44.5 in Tampa, Indianapolis, Falcons money line, and Buffalo, Philadelphia over 49. And then Dave Rogers just gave us Sutton anytime touchdown, Buffalo. Buffalo, Philadelphia over 49. Vikings -3 at +103. Thank you to you guys in the chat. You guys are what makes this show special. We know that, and we just love capping you. You guys make the live stream so special. Your insights, your humor, and your angles, you just consistently inspire all of us to work harder and care more. And just I try my hardest not to take for granted the opportunity I have to cap with you guys every day, because it's the greatest thing I have. I mean, the greatest thing I have is Ella and Carter. But I'm so thankful to cap with you guys each and every day. Dan Kelly, Sky Dragon, Kong's Clips, Kevin Garrett, Al Cervic, Equinimus, Joseph Alvarado, Mikey M, Swiss Horton. What a guy Swiss has been. Harold Williams, Big O, Dana Delt, Perfect Rotation, Kong's Clips, Boogie Main, Justin McElvey, Rogue Energy, Thomas Maggio, Troy Torrance, Joe, Manny 47 Loud, Nasty Nate, I'm That Heat. Thank you guys. LFG, Primetime 99, King Al. Thank you. Loopy, all of you guys. Thank you so much. Kelly McInnes, Terry Walker. Thank you. Top set. Now, it's almost kickoff. Thank you to Jose for all the hard work you do. You do so much behind the scenes. Not just with your hard work, but just with who you are. I was a little panicky with some changes before the show, and you keep me calm, and I thank you for that. Leroy Flood, thank you. Big Scott with a $5 dono. Thank you, Big Scott. Blessing our action. Gagnon, Millsy, all of you guys, thank you so much for your support. Kickoff is in 1 minute. We will send you guys off to Big Show and Sharpie, and we're here for the live stream this evening. And thank you guys. Now let's go out there and get that cash. This is what we love. We put in all our work. We made the bets. Now we either love the consequences or have to deal with them. That's all. Let Jay Halo's bookmakers. Let's get it.